What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So we got some interesting breaking news, right? Regarding newly crowned two-time heavyweight world champion, WBC newly crowned heavyweight world champion, British superstar boxer Tyson the Gypsy King Fury. Tyson Fury has been getting under a lot of flack lately, right? A lot of slack lately, right? Uh, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of allegations against Tyson Fury. One was regarding his 2015 failed test where he had a farmer, Martin Carefoot, 70-year-old farmer. Now he's 70 years old. At the time, he was 65 years old. Martin Carefoot testified for Tyson Fury and stated that he provided Tyson Fury and his cousin Huey Fury with the wild boar that tainted their test, tainted wild boar, which in return had them test positive for performance enhancing drugs. This was following the Vladimir Klitschko fight, right? And Martin Carefoot recently came out and he stated that he wanted to go back to court. He was willing to work with and be cooperative with UKAD, United Kingdom Anti-Doping Agency. And he also stated that he lied, he committed perjury. He said that he never provided Tyson Fury nor his team with any wild boar. He stated that they offered him 25,000 pounds to lie, right? Now, and he also stated that he was willing to, like I said, cooperate with UKAD. UKAD then went on to notify the boxing world and Tyson Fury and his team that they were going to open and launch a new investigation into the situation and take a longer look and inquire what Martin Carefoot had to say. Tyson Fury then denounced his his UK boxing license. So he's no longer has a license to box in the United Kingdom, thus allowing himself to be broken away from UKAD's new investigation because he's out of their jurisdiction. We heard nothing. We heard very little after that about Martin Carefoot. Now, Martin Carefoot has resurfaced after we see the situation with the glove gate, after we, so many different things going on with Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury's manager, Daniel Kinahan, is alleged mob boss, and that's on the run. And Tyson Fury recently thanked Daniel Kinahan for landing and getting a deal done to face fellow countrymen, two-time unified British heavyweight world champion superstar boxer Anthony Joshua in 2021, a two-fight deal. Tyson Fury came out and thanked Daniel Kinahan. That didn't go over well with too many people who don't, Daniel Kinahan is not in there. He's not in, they don't see him in high regards, put it that way. Now, all of a sudden, we see the gloves have little to no padding in the knuckle area in the Deontay Wilder fight. Deontay Wilder and his team and his brother came out and stated that they feel like it was a blunt object, according to Deontay Wilder's specialist, that caused a dent in the left side of his skull. We saw the flappy glove. And to cover all of this up, allegedly, the WBC president, Mauricio Suleiman, came out and he stated that, Tyson Fury gloves was on the up and up. Then BT ran a quick, a little short story to prove that Deontay Wilder's team was in the locker room, and there's no foul play, is where they was getting at with this. Sky Sports did an interview, Mauricio Suleiman, so on and so forth, right? And now, miraculously, we get Martin Carefoot resurface, and now he has decided to drop all his allegations. So now, Martin Carefoot has decided to come out of the woodworks after months of being doormat and now say he's going to drop all his sensational allegations against Tyson Fury. So Martin Carefoot alleged he made allegations that Tyson Fury and his team offered him £25,000. Now he says that he's not willing to cooperate. He says Martin Carefoot, 70-year-old, says he's no longer cooperating with investigation into heavyweight champion Tyson Fury's positive test for anabolic steroid nandrolone in February 2015. Fury and his cousin Hughie Fury, a fellow boxer, sparked controversy when they tested positive for nandrolone in February 2015 following urine tests. In 2016, Fury was accused of refusing to provide another sample for further testing. So Tyson Fury didn't even want to provide any more samples so they could test. That's an admission in itself, right? Nonetheless, both men denied doping and maintained that their presence of banned substance was because they had taken contaminated fitness supplements or because they had regularly eaten uncastrated wild boar. So they're saying that they either took something that was over the counter. They couldn't pinpoint where it was at. So how did they get it down to the wild boar is beyond me. This story was supported by Martin Carefoot, who initially confirmed that he had supplied the meat. Right? Then Martin, however, in March this year, so in March, we are in July. In March of this year, the investigation into the boxers was reopened after Mr. Carefoot claimed he had been bribed to provide false statements and clear the boxer. He said at the time, "I feel fed up with the lies." This is what Martin Carefoot had to say, quote, "I feel fed up with the lies and the deceit. The public needs to know the truth. I'm happy the public know what all this is about. I feel cheated and used." This is what Martin Carefoot had to say in March. This is July. So we went April, May, June, July. 4 months we haven't heard from Martin Carefoot, right? But in a shocking turn, he has now withdrawn his allegations after it triggered the reopening of UK anti-doping UKAD and threatened the future of Tyson Fury's long-awaited fight with Anthony Joshua next year. So they're saying that now that the whole situation, the anticipated undisputed bout with Anthony Joshua is on the cusp and at stake, now all of a sudden Martin Carefoot decides to come out and state that he's withdrawing his allegations. Mr. Carefoot told the Times, I've had nothing but problems right from the beginning of this, and I don't want to get involved. So now Martin Carefoot is saying that he's had problems from the moment Tyson Fury and his team brought him into this situation. Therefore, he is telling the world that he's telling the truth when he says that he was bribed in this entire situation, and they was offering him £25,000. He says now he's saying that it's been nothing but problems since he was introduced. Well, how could it be anything but problems if you was doing something on the up and up that you had no idea that you was doing anything wrong? If you're just supplying them with wild boar, then how could you feel like there's any problems? There's problems because they introduced themselves unorganically, meaning that they found him and they asked him, "Listen, we have this situation going on, and we need you to do so on and so forth, etc." Right? Because if he was just doing business with them as far as selling them wild boar, why would it be any problems? Okay? So now he's saying that he is not going to push forward with these talks and these allegations, and he's not going to cooperate with UKAD anymore because there's too many problems. So this just lets you know, obviously, somebody has visited Martin Carefoot, allegedly. Right? Somebody has given Martin Carefoot maybe the money that he was looking for, right? You don't just, now all of a sudden 4 months after being doormat, Martin Carefoot resurfaces, and now he's saying he don't want any more problems, and he's withdrawing And miraculously, when we have quote unquote this mega showdown in the UK, so now this is Tyson Fury will be able to pick back up his United Kingdom boxing license because UKAD is no longer going to continue to investigate because they don't have a leg to stand on. So now if he gets past Deontay Wilder in his trilogy match, the fight between himself and Anthony Joshua can now take place on UK soil. Are y'all following what I'm telling you? Because now this investigation is going to go away because their leg, their stronghold is Martin Carefoot, and now he has withdrawn from this entire situation. Right? So during the initial investigation, Mr. Carefoot said he had regularly supplied wild boar meat to the Fury, sending it to their gym in Bolton. He provided 2 written statements confirming that he had been approached by a member of Fury's team who was looking to purchase large amounts of high-quality fresh meat on a regular basis for Tyson Fury and Hughie Fury, 2 professional boxers who had very specific diets with high protein requirements. Although some customers would only want specific cuts, Team Fury were keen to utilize the whole animal, including liver, kidney, and other offal. Once the animal was, so on and so forth. However, in March, the farmer said his statements had been fabricated, and not only had he not supplied the meat to Fury's team, but he had never even kept wild boar on his farm, and he could provide receipts. So he said that he never even had or cared for wild boar ever, and he could provide the receipts that he never had them. So therefore, if he never farmed these animals, then how could he provide them with wild boar if he never had wild boar to begin with? Right? So that's when UKAD said they're going to open up the new investigation, and then he was going to be the key to everything, to them getting to the bottom of it. Right? Now it goes on to say, however, he had found himself in a difficult when asked to provide photos of wild boar on his farm and images on uncrashed boar. So he found himself in a sticky situation because when the court system asked him to provide photos of the wild boar on his farm and images, he couldn't provide it. So this means he never had the wild boar. So he couldn't provide the wild boar, right? Then he revealed that he had never received his 25,000 pound fee from Fury's entourage. I've never kept wild boar, he said. I've never wild boar. The closest I've got to a wild boar is when once I got some for a customer in a shop and I actually chopped it up, and that was the closest I've ever come to having wild boar. Explaining why he had given false testimonies, he said, I was in too deep. They were dangling this carrot. I thought you're going to get 25 grand for this. I thought it was not a hanging matter. And so I went along with it. So here's the bottom line of this all, is that Martin Carefoot, is now backing out. And this is typical when you're dealing with situations like this. Martin Carefoot found himself in too deep. Martin Carefoot decided to, allegedly blow the whistle. And like you see, the court system this is why UKAD wanted to relaunch a new investigation, because the situation was shaky to begin with. And so he couldn't provide images and photos of him farming wild boar on his property. Therefore, how could he provide them, Tyson Fury's team, on a regular basis wild boar if he never even kept wild boar? So this just goes to let you know that they had something to cover up, Hughie Fury and Tyson Fury. And now that he came out in March, he said nothing since March outside of him stating that he never kept the wild boar, and Tyson Fury and his team never kept up their end of the bargain. And so he was willing to go back to court to prove that they were in the wrong. And he said that he wanted to shine the light and show the boxing world and everybody else that they were not doing things on the correct end, right? And now, 4 months later, After all of these things are surfacing, the situation with Daniel Kinahan, the situation with the gloves, all of these different situations are presenting itself, and now Martin Carefoot resurfaces and decides to say he resurfaces to say he's backing out because it was too much problems. This just lets you know what it is. That's an admission in itself, allegedly. Point blank and period, right? And now Martin Carefoot says on the heels, he's getting a lot of slack or flack, right, for standing in the way of a mega undisputed showdown between Fury and Joshua. And like I stated, because U.K.A.D was launching a new investigation, Fury had to denounce his United Kingdom boxing license. So this fight, if he beats Wilder in the trilogy, cannot take place on UK soil. That is a mega blow to this type of fight, because they never had a mega undisputed heavyweight showdown on UK soil. So now Tyson, this fight will have to take place elsewhere because U.K.A.D is launching a new investigation, and clearly they're going to find something, and this could jeopardize Tyson Fury's future and career. And that fight, he had to denounce his license so it's out of U.K.A.'s jurisdiction. But now Martin Carefoot is withdrawing his statements and his stance and saying he don't want no parts of it because it just caused him too many problems. Now U.K.A.D can't open a new investigation because they don't have a leg to stand on. The key to this all is Martin Carefoot. So now if they don't have Martin Carefoot, right, they don't have nothing. So now it's not worth them launching an investigation. Now Tyson Fury will pick up his boxing license in the UK, and if he wins the fight with Deontay Wilder, the fight with Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua will take place on UK soil. That lets you know everything you need to know about this entire situation. Point blank and period. Now you can make of it what you want. But that's all I got for y'all. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blueblood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed? Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon, and get all the new notification. Follow me on Instagram at Blueblood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.